Go to red alert. Prepare to fire phaser banks. Sensors, lock on. Mr. Sulu, continue closing. Mr. Spock, lock phasers into computer. Computer to a control attack.
Computer lock ready, Captain. All systems standing by.
Well, hey there, beautiful people. Welcome to another build series with me, which is the Star Trek Bridge. This is, I believe, part 2 of that build. And as you remember, we focused on the last one. We focused on the preparations and also doing some cutting on the screens and a little whatnot so light will be able to penetrate through later, and also doing some paint work. And so what we are going to focus on this build is mostly I'm going to take off the masks on some of the paint work, and we're gonna see what needs to be touched up, and I'm gonna kind of look through the paint, and if there's any a little bit of dust or anything, I will wet sand that off or Brillo pad it off just a little bit, just to kind of make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And then I think we can start putting on screens and little things like that and get this thing close to getting it done. I'm debating on whether I am going to put it together before I put the lighting in. I'm not sure. I mean, it seems like it would probably be the best way is to put it together and then put the lighting in, because you have plenty of room on every side to go in there and put the fiber optics or LED strip or whatever in there to make it work. So we will see what to do. But anyways, behind me here are the parts. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of take off the tape here. Got some tapes here and some tape on these, and I'm just going to peel that off and see whether the tape did its job. And so listen, I took some of your advice, some of y'all's advice, and some of you had said to use Tamiya masking tape, and I am going to do away with this blue stuff. I'm going to do away with it, and I'm going to start using some yellow Tamiya tape that I think will work better, which I think a lot of you have said works a whole lot better now. I will use probably thicker blue tape, not thicker, wider, I should say, for like parts that need a lot of, that I got to cover up pretty heavily. But for the intricate parts that, you've got to have those straight lines, that of course, what you're taping, that's going to be used with the yellow tape, which is, I think, a little bit skinnier. But I'm going to try it out, and hopefully that'll work. So maybe on the next couple of episodes, I will be using that and ditching this blue stuff as far as that detail, that fine, getting that line straight and no bleeds, no paint bleeds. So we'll see what happens with that. So anyways, okay, let's get into the build and let's see what we can come up with today. Okay, really quick look at the floor. As you remember it was a square, and so I cut it down. I cut this plastic down so I can make it to where it just kind of fits pretty decently on here. So that's how that's going to work. And I mean, it ain't perfect. I'm just going to kind of just glue it from the bottom here, kind of like that. So, and I think that's just kind of the way I'm going to do it. But I think that'll look really good. And once I clear coat it, you bring out those little hot spots. I was doing some wet sanding on it to get a few little imperfections off of it. So clear coat will kind of smooth all that out. But that's what that does for now. And I've just been kind of just randomly cleaning up a few little pieces here and there. I've got the gray on here. As you can kind of see, I'm just kind of doing some black touches. Had a few little minor pinholes in a couple of places, and I just kind of wanted to fill them in a little bit with that paint, just real quick. And I think that's going to be good. So, okay, I gotta, oh yeah. I gotta put another coat or two, I think, of this on there, but I got that little black, black trim there. Like I said, I got to do some touching up to kind of clean that up and make that look a little bit better, but that's what that's going to look like, so that's going to look really nice. So, okay, let me do some more work here. I forgot. So here is one seat. I just painted up the bases, and I think those are looking pretty good. And then over here we have the figures that she is fixing to paint for me. She's already done the heads, the skin part. Probably got to do another coat on that, but that's coming along really well and should be doing the pants. So let me do some more little things. I've got to, once some of this paint dries, I'm going to mask this off and mask this off so as I can paint this black. And then I will start putting some backlights back in here, or the back panels for the backlights back in here. And then we will get this thing close to assembling all together. I'm going to glue this on first before I put the stairs, the staircases, and the little handrails, the red handrails, and of course this thing will go somewhere right there. Okay, it's gonna go something like that. So yeah, that's gonna look really nice. Okay, so let me do a couple of things real quick and I'll get back with you in just a bit. Okay, goal and assignment right now is to paint this black. All these black. I've got them taped off, so I'm just gonna paint those a nice black color. Also this, and also the red door. So I got that taped off. And what I'm using for the black is X1 from Tamiya, X1 black, and XF flat red for the door. So let's get started. Okay, this is the floor. I glued down the bottom, this bottom section here. I got these cans here just to kind of give it some weight while it was gluing. I just used some super glue to kind of glue that in. I think I'm gonna go in there and take some hot glue and just kind of go around these edges real good, just to kind of make sure this thing's good and reinforced. I think it ain't gonna go nowhere, but it looks pretty good. There's a couple of places. Got a little crud right there, I'll get that. There's a couple little places that I'm gonna have to kind of fix up a little bit because it's shining. Of course, clear coat will kind of help fix that when I clear coat this thing, but I'm gonna get that. That's just nothing but wet. It's raining a little bit outside, so I'm just kind of got a little bit of a wet on there, but that's no big deal. But so yeah, that's how that's gonna work. So I got to do a little cleanup work. And then I will start putting on putting on the captain and the helm's space right here. I gotta put all this on, so, and the chair and all that, and then we'll start putting on the little what do you call it? Excuse me. The stairs. I got to put on the little stairs and also the little guardrail or the handrails, the red handrails. Then once I get these parts, once I give them another coat or two, I will put the decals on here and get these things clear coated, and then we will start putting on the walls. And then from there, I think I will start doing the lighting. I think that's the best approach to doing this thing. So, okay, let me do a couple little things and get this thing cleaned up a little bit, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I got the floor completely assembled. I got the holes drilled for the lighting when that comes later. What I'm going to focus on now is the steps and the railing, the hand railing, the red hand railing, and I scratched off some paint in those areas where I'm going to be applying glue just so the plastic would adhere the best that it could. So that's what I'm doing. And so what I am fixing to do is just get all that assembled. And well, I also did that. I also took out the paint where the glue is going to be adhering to this stuff. So it just kind of helps it adhere better to the plastic. And what I'm gonna be using is just some regular old super glue. So all right, let's get started with this. Okay, so I got the parts out here. I am fixing to start putting this thing together. Since this is a very old kit, or old molds, I guess, you know, kind of the way that goes, this can be kind of a little bit stressful because I've done this before and parts can be misaligned in ways, so I have to be extremely careful. So I'm going to do the best I can, but just be mindful of that does happen, and you just have to watch that. So I'm gonna put this in fast motion, and just so as we can get this thing done, and we can redeem the time. Yet you can see exactly what I do, kind of, and get an idea of how I put this thing together. So let's get started. Okay, here's a quick little look at
at the bridge. I got a few things I got to touch up. Okay, I got a lot of things I got to touch up. Especially like right in here. I got to putty that in, and I got to fix that up a little bit more. And I got to fix that stuff down there just a little bit. Probably putty it or something. I'll do something. And then kind of where that super glue, you know, where it makes that white film, I got to kind of touch those up a little bit. So I got some work I still got to do on this thing, but I think it's getting pretty close. And I think it's looking pretty good, but yeah, I got some work I still need to do to make sure this thing looks really good and decent. So let me work on that a little bit, and then I will get back with you. But I installed the little red alert lights, which are right in there. So looks like it's looking pretty good. I still got to do some touch-ups on those floors down there, but I've been really going over this thing and just looking at it, making sure everything looks pretty good, and I think it'll look pretty good. I was also kind of looking here at this lighting and stuff, just kind of getting it together, and it's pretty cool. Let me just kind of show you real quick. I got everything just kind of strolled out here. Let's see, so I turn this push button on here, and then you can see your chaser lights, and your little flashers here. You got some cool little flashes here, I think for fiber optics and stuff. Those come on, and then you push this little red push button right here, and so you just press it different times, and yeah, I think you got 3 of them. Okay, so what I thought about doing for this is these chasers, he tells you to, let me go get this thing here real quick. He tells you to put these things in here like this. Let's see if you can see this, excuse me. And you kind of go in there like that, which looks pretty good, but I think what I'm going to do, I may not, but I'm thinking about using fiber optics, because I drilled me some holes in there, and so and just stick those little fiber optics in there so as I can put this thing underneath the base down here, so I can put all of my board parts down here, and then I just have fiber optics coming up going in here. And then you say, well, what about this? Well, this I'll just make an extension, cut this wire, and I'll extend it with some extra wire that I've got, and then I'll just, of course, do the same thing and just stick that right in there somehow, make a light box of some kind. But I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. It actually does pretty good the way it's doing, so I'm just kind of just thinking that actually looks pretty cool. But we will see about that. I'm looking at those light bleeds right there going through that, going through here, this the screen. So I'm gonna have to really think about that. But that really does look really cool. I mean, that's so cool. He gave you other little lighting. This is the red for the what do you call it? I think for the red alert. And then he gives you just some plain old white LEDs to, I guess, just to put different places, which is also really cool, which I'm going to probably use those. And from what I understand, you put them in this harness right here. Yeah, you got a little harness. You got, I think, 3 sets of black and red wires that you just kind of put your lights in. So I think it's going to look pretty good. Oh, yeah, you also got your LED tape that you put in these little areas here to kind of light those up, light this up here, I think. So, but I'm just kind of talking right now, but I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I got to put those little screens there. I got to put screens up here. I got to put screens here, and screens, of course, right there. Actually, the photo etch, I think, turned out really well. Let's see if you can kind of see it in the light here. Oh, yeah. See that photo etch coming through?
Look, there's a little light bleed. I got to fix that. That ain't no big deal. But I got that little photo etches right there that just really are standing out. And it's gonna really look good, I believe. So, okay, so let me figure out some more things what I need to do, and I'll get right back with you. But that's it so far. Okay, I just drilled my holes in place where these couple of little switches and push buttons are gonna go, and also the plug for the power. Plug for the power is gonna go here. The main switch to turn the lights on is going to go here, and the little switch to turn on sound and red alert and all that good stuff is going to go here. So, okay, I wanted to show you some of the screens and stuff I got done on this thing. It looked like they turned out pretty well. See in the light, that's going to do nice in that light. So, okay, that's those. I was trying to figure out for a while, trying to figure out, it's a shame that you only have a choice between one of these screens, these front view screens. And I think if there's just a way I could possibly do it to where you could have interchangeable screens, and I put my thinking cap on, and I think I come up with a way. And let's see, let me just kind of pop one in there like that right there. And then you can see it from here. And then you take it off, just simply undo it, unflip it, and then just put the next one in there. So I can't really tell you how I did it because I really don't know how I did it. I don't know if I could recreate it, to be honest with you. Maybe I could, but I used, let's see, I kind of used some L-shaped plastic pieces from Evergreen Plastics, and then I used a what do you call those? Like those steel beams. Those they're plastic, but they look like steel beams. I used one of those. I cut off the flat end on this side so as I could get it to go in there, plus be able to get the fiber optics in here. Of course, I left the flat end on this side, so this would have something to glue onto. So that's kind of pretty much what I did, and I hot glued the sides just to kind of reinforce it a little bit. I used super glue to glue the plastic in, but I reinforced it with some hot glue just to make sure, and I think it's going to work. It's going to work fine. So everything slips in perfect. Like, I mean, look there, just perfect. And then you just whoop, pop it out. So what I got to do now is I got to make a light box to kind of extend this out just a little bit more, so as the light will spread out in there, and I'll be able to really it'll be able to really light up in there. And then I have to light up all these. I ran out of view screens. I'm not sure exactly why. I'm going to use some decals that came with this kit to finish these off, which I don't think will be too much difference. And I'll put some PETG behind there, and then put the decals on top of that, and that should work just fine like that. So okay, so we are moving along. Just thought I want to show you a little update on that. Oh yeah, and right here I put a little red piece of plastic. It's transparent. Get those from Evergreen, and I put that back there for this right here. So I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, let me. I still got a lot of cleaning up to do. I don't think I'll ever be done with this. I just don't think I'll ever be done with it. I'll just constantly cleaning up. And then there is the red alert light, or will be. So that's looking good. Okay, to show you again, I put the base on. What I did was I used these two products. Well, they come together. The 15-minute mid-cure epoxy. Actually, this floor, when I put this floor in on the underside, it had a layer of this plastic, which comes about like this. And so that was good because I was able to put some of this stuff on it and plaster it onto this base. But
And what I had to do was, as you probably know, that these things, when you put the walls together, they are not straight. So you just kind of have to do the best you can. And if you make it straight up here, they're going to be crooked down here. If you make it straight down here, they're going to be crooked up here. So what I had to do was, of course, I made the top as straight as I possibly could. But the bottom here, you had little lips under here, and I just kind of sanded them down all flush with an electric hand sander, and just kind of made that as flush as I could so it'll sit as properly as it could. And then I put some of this stuff on there, kind of mixed it up and put it in there, and put something real heavy on top of it, kind of to weigh it down for 5 or 6 hours, I believe it was, something like that. And then I just kind of reinforced it with some hot glue. I used the big hot glue gun. Just, it seems to be a whole lot stronger to me, so I used the big one, and so I just kind of reinforced all that down there all the way around. So yeah, I'm sorry if this video is kind of more of a show and tell kind of video. I've never done this build lighting and all that before, so I've just kind of really been focusing and honing in on actually building this thing, and just kind of showing you updates as it goes on, because I just kind of wanted to really focus on this one real good. So this build, I guess the rest of it, if most of it, will probably be mostly show and tell, you know what I'm saying, what I did, not what I'm doing, or showing what I'm doing. So okay, until next time, I guess I will let you go. Please stay safe, take care, and until next week, keep modeling.